All right. I think we are good to go. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay, and we are back with a live stream of Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PS5. Uh, I honestly was not sure if I would ever return to the PS5 version of this game because of the last time I streamed it. It was absolutely disastrous. I was spinning out, and wrecking all over the place. Um, and it was so frustrating to the point that I found myself being irate and rude to some of the viewers, which I apologize for that. And so I go back over to PC, and the same problem is happening. I'm still spinning out, I'm still wrecking everywhere, and I just decided it was time to make a change. It was time to change cars. So I tried the new cars that came out with version 1.9. We have this McLaren right here, 720S Evo, I believe it is, 2023. The 992 that I was driving, the Porsche for a while. We also have the Lambo, and the AMG was kind of redone to be a whole different car. And so I tried all of the cars except the AMG. And the first time I tried the McLaren, even though I wasn't a big fan of how this car looks, I still liked the way it handled, but it had a dead spot. So I wasn't sure that I was gonna, go with this car. So I tried the Ferrari, and I really liked the Ferrari. But I think what I found about the Ferrari was it didn't have that much straight line speed. So, um, but hey, I made the most of it at the time because I actually broke a personal best with the Ferrari. On Monza, my previous personal best was like 149.7, and I did a 149.2 with the Ferrari. And I said, well, let me keep experimenting. So I tried this McLaren, and I got the steering sensitivity to where I like it. And, and whoa, I ended up having a lot of fun with this car, and I really like the way this car handles. So I kept plugging away at this car, kept practicing and stuff, and I actually shattered my personal best. As I said before, the personal best previously was a 149.2 with the Ferrari 296. With this car, I did a 148.6. And at one point, I was on the verge of breaking a 147. And that is alien shit on Monza. On Monza, the aliens normally turn in high 146s, 147s. And so at one point I was looking at about I was on pace to set like a 148.2, and I ended up doing a 148.6, as I said. Hold on. All right. So so this car here on PC, once I got it to where I liked it, the car became predictable, and I mean that in a good way because once you know what the car is going to do, you trust it. Once you trust the car, you're going to be a little bit more aggressive. You might take chances. You're going to experiment a little bit, and that's what it came down to. And that's how I was able to set that 148.6 with this car on PC because I've finally nailed it down to a point where I trusted the car. So I was being super, super aggressive with it. And so, yeah, I set that personal best. And then on all the other tracks, I am within striking distance of my personal best. I think like Mount Panorama, for instance, I think my personal best is like a 203.9. And so with this car, I set a 204.1. So it's not a matter of if, but when I break my personal best with this car. So I decided to jump back over here and give it a try and see if the handling of this car feels the same on PS5 versus PC. And initially, I say yes. The handling feels the same. The big difference is me transitioning from, um, you know, racing in VR to racing flat screen. Um, when I'm racing, it's totally different. When I'm racing flat screen, Even though I'm sitting
How is
here,
this game compared to GT7?
this game is much better than GT7 in terms of, especially when it comes to the physics. Um, and then I think because this game, this game is for the more hardcore people. So I think you're gonna encounter at least less dirty racers, especially on PC. Now that's the one thing I have to point out, and I don't mean this as a shot at console players, but racing games on console, you're more likely gonna have people there this using a controller, and those are the ones that's a lot of them are the ones that's causing all the wrecks. So Uh, so that being said, in my opinion, that's already one of the problems with GT7 is that there's probably a lot of people on there using controllers instead of using racing wheels, and then you have the ones that are going out of their way to be dirty. So I have not been having fun with GT7. I have not played that game in about a week because my last session I got so upset that I basically rage quit, and I'm not sure if I'm coming back to GT7. Um, so in terms of the physics, I think this is a better game. I think in terms of the competition, this is a better game. Um, but I would say that this game is better on PC because it just the response time and even the physics, you can make the case is a little bit better on PC. They did catch up to PC for a second with the updates because this is 1.9.1, but PC's already had about 3 or 4 more updates since. So PC is on 1.9.5. Um, so so yeah, I feel that this is better. This is a better game than GT7 if you want a hardcore
Exit
sim
point
racing game.
bra. Love your rig. I'm using T300 RS and so tempted to change to a direct drive.
Once you go direct drive, you won't go back. Um, in terms of the torque, um, torque is torque. It is what it is. So a 20 Newton meter. This is a 20 Newton meter wheelbase. This is the Fanatec DD1. A built-driven wheelbase that has 20 Newton meters of torque. That torque is going to feel the same. It's the small details where uh, the direct drive wheelbases are. That's where they stand out. You feel a little nicks in the road, a little uh, the small details in the road. You'll feel it. Um, Going over the rumble strips when you go outside, the direct drive can make those physics, the effects be a little bit sharper. So yeah, I can't speak on the T300. I mean, I started out with a Thrustmaster T150, then I had a CSL Elite, um, and that actually was a huge leap for me when I first got that one, and then I got this one. So if I was still using that CSL Elite, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. That was actually a pretty good wheelbase. It had 6 Newton meters of torque, so it had just enough torque that I could feel it. Um, and the details were there. It's just with these direct drives, you feel more detail with a direct drive. So before I get ready to hop into a race, so I'll just finish up answering that question. I do feel that this is a better game than GT7 if you want hardcore racing.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, my pleasure. The big thing that I would caution you about with this game is that yes, it is on console, so there might be a couple of players in there that's on controllers and they could be reckless. But I still think on this game you deal with less dirty drivers than you would on GT7, and that's the big frustration with GT7. I can't deal with the dirty drivers over there anymore, and the terrible penalty system over there encourages dirty driving. But the experience would be better on PC. So the guys are faster on PC, and they don't, and you encounter less dirty drivers. That's not to say that you would run into a lot of dirty drivers on this PS5 version. It's just less dirty drivers on the console version, and you're also dealing with less people using controllers, so you're dealing with less people causing wrecks the way they would over here. So just being honest. Now, my lap times. My lap times on PC relative to this. So let's go here to single player. If you see here, and I don't know why my lap time didn't register, but it shows you here that my personal best lap was a 154 flat. Before I went live, I did a few practice laps, and I actually did a 151 flat. Again, my personal best on PC is 148.6. I'm never going to beat that personal lap just for the simple fact that I'm racing flat screen. As I was saying before, it's a totally different world, racing in VR. I see everything. The big problem with making that transition from VR to flat screen, as I was saying, everything, even though I'm playing on a 65-inch TV, everything seems narrow and it seems far away. So the perception, the perception of depth is day and night between the two. So like when I race flat screen, everything seems to be moving a lot faster than it would in VR. I'm doing 150 miles an hour on a straight flat screen. It feels like I'm doing 200 miles an hour, and I don't see the brake markers or the curves until I get right up on them. Whereas in VR, if I'm doing 150 miles an hour, it feels like I'm doing 150 miles an hour. I see the brake markers, I see the curves, I see them way down there. So I know the curves are coming up way before I reach it. So way before I even get to the curves, I'm already planning how I'm going to enter those curves. Whereas racing flat screen, when that curve hits you like that, you can't plan how you're going to approach that corner because you're so caught off guard by it that you're more or less trying to react to it. Whereas in VR, I'm actually planning on how I'm going to attack that curve because I've seen it, much, much further away. So, but the big thing that made me want to jump online, and stream, is because I went looking for some sessions, and I expected it to be empty, but there's actually a couple of them here. Here's a Monza. I guess we can go in there because they're still practicing. And then I went into I went into a session to have a look around, and the fastest lap was a 151.9. I said I can beat these guys. I mean, if I was on PC and the fastest lap was a 151.9, I would have blown them out the water. This is more or less just going to be a warm-up lap.
Yo.
DJ, what's good, my guy? I'm racing flat screen on the PS5. Hey, man, I switched over to the McLaren, and I'm killing it. This track here on PC, I turned in a personal best of 148.6.
There's a slow car, man. Car on the right. Gear on the right.
Yeah, I see these dudes acting like idiots. So let's just go back to the garage. Yeah, that 148.6. Not only did I turn in at 148.6, I have been turning in consistent 148s at this track. I've gotten to the point that when I'm having a bad lap on this track, I can still turn in a 149 when I'm having a bad lap. So that's why I'm on PS5. I want to see just how close I can come to that 148. It's not going to happen on the PS5. It's just not, because again, I race in VR on PC. What I'm aiming for is to get into the 150s. Let's get this setup together. This is a 10-minute race. All right, let's go. So yeah, I shattered my personal best on PC on this track. All the other tracks on PC, I'm within striking distance of breaking the personal best, and I'm going to break all of them. This McLaren, I trust this car. The Porsche was just too unpredictable. With this car, if I turn the wheel this much, that's how much the car turns. With the Porsche, if I turn the wheel this much, the car cranks over that much. So, let's go.
Going double file.
So I would say, yeah, with this McLaren, the physics the handling feels pretty close to the to PC. It's just that because I'm racing flat screen versus VR, my reaction to how fast corners and stuff like that are coming at me is different.
Green light, go, go, go.
This ain't gonna end well, I can see this.
Car on the left, clear on the left.
Oh shit!
Slow car ahead.
Oh my god.
mark, still a long way to go.
Have more control. It's noticeable immediately.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. For one thing, I trust this car. What is he doing? This dude is slowing me down. He's forcing me to have to brake a lot earlier than I want to.
them on PS5 too. Not sure if they do it for console.
No, they don't do it for console. I wish they did.
Falling behind the car in front, exactly.
Damn, it took me forever to get around his ass. Damn, it took me forever to get around that dude. I mean, he was slow, but he was fast enough that I couldn't just outright overtake him. And then a couple of times where I had pressure on him, I don't know if he brake checked me on purpose, but all of a sudden it looked like I was about to wind up in his back seat, so I had to slam on the brakes. But, hey, I mean, there was a huge wreck at the beginning of this race, and I don't know what caused that. And again, I'm not trying to take a shot at console players, but I am being honest and saying that I do not know what could have caused that wreck up front. I don't know if it was a case of somebody being dirty, somebody being stupid, or somebody being on the controller. And then that's one of the bad things about console is you can't replay the entire race. It only lets you replay like the last 3 laps. So that's one of the fucked up things about this game on console. Whereas on PC, I can go back and look at the incident and find out what happened right from the start. Let's go. We'll do one more. Yeah, I'm going to let him go first. I'm going to give him some space. So I hope everybody's doing good on a Friday or Saturday, depending on where you're at. Guy tried to take me out, really? He tried, man, this dude, what is he doing? He tried to take me out. Dude, what is he doing? He must be one of those dudes trying to make a name for himself of being a dirty racer. Because anybody that watches GT7 knows about the most dirtiest racer in Kimi Balacini.
Yellow yellow flag, be careful there. Yellow flag acceptable. Yellow flag ahead, watch out. Yellow flag, be careful there. Yellow flag ahead, watch out. Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead, watch out in front. Yellow flag in sector 2. That'll be right ahead.
forget it.
I've been validated. We've got some light damage on the front.
Yeah, I screwed up. I mean, at the moment, I still got pole, but... This is, you best believe, folks, there's going to be a wreck. Turn 1. So I'm telling you guys right now, up front, that I'm probably going to cut across that chicane to avoid the wreck, because there's going to be a turn 1 wreck at that chicane. So, oh, you know what? The tires were cold too. You know what? I'm going to close the brake. I'm going to go back and close the brake duct. So I'll say this, that if I can avoid the turn 1 wreck, I think I can win this race. But if I get caught up in a wreck, it's over. This ancient Andromeda next to me in the Audi, if he gets in front of me, it's going to be a workout because
30 seconds.
Because it took me too long to get past him the last race. All right, let's go.
Stay in double file.
Look at that idiot. And this is one of the reasons why I tell you that if you want the cleanest sim racing, race on PC. Because the people on PC are more serious. They've got hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into their equipment.
Green light. Go, go, go.
This ain't gonna end well.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I'm gonna let this BMW go just so I can avoid the wreck.
Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Yellow flag in sector 3. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right.
I knew that was gonna happen, that's why I let him go. in my sight. I can still win this. Shit!
Got some light down.
Oh, damn it. I was trying to get a jump on that McLaren that was breathing down my neck. Yeah, this race is over. The car is destroyed. Damn, folks. Sorry about that. Guess we can go have a look at one of the other sessions. Damn. Let's see here. We got a Monza, Coda. Yeah, all the other ones are yeah. There's only 3 sessions in here, and all of them are Monza. Damn, I'm hungry. So, I think I might have to go ahead and part of me wants to go ahead and leave it there so I can jump on PC and get back into VR. But I will say that now that that I'm using a car that I can trust on Monza, I am aiming for a personal best, at least on PS5 here. I'm aiming for a personal best of 149. I think I can do it. And so on PC, I'm satisfied with my personal best, the 148.6. My goal on PC is to break the rest of my personal best. Some of them probably gonna be easy, some of them gonna be tough. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I want to grab a bite to eat, and I might actually do a LFM race. So if that's the case, I'll come back. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow or sometime this weekend with something else. So thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry about that wreck, but at least I haven't walked away feeling this good about ACC on PS5 in a while. So yeah, I knew I was in there with people, in my opinion, that are less skilled, and some of them are probably using controllers, but I still felt pretty good. Oh yeah. What I don't think I'll be doing, probably won't be doing GT7. I don't want to get in there and bang my head up against the wall trying to get in there and give that game one more try and then encounter all the dirty racers and shit like that, because it's just gonna piss me off. So we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, again, if I decide to jump on ACC on PC and race in VR, and do a LFM race, I'll come back. If not, again, we'll see you guys tomorrow. So until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. See you in a little bit, everybody. Hopefully.